This is 5 on your side at 5. Focused on you.
In about an hour, pro-Palestinian protests are planned at another St. Louis area college, this time St. Louis University. This is a live look at the university's clock tower where that protest is happening tonight. This comes just days after protests at Washington University, where nearly 100 were arrested over the weekend. Thanks for joining us. I'm Mike Bush.
I'm Kelly Jackson. Tonight, protests are still going on at other campuses across the country. They started about 2 weeks ago with tent setups at Columbia University in New York. And since then, hundreds have been arrested all over the country as protesters clash with police.
Now, Passover just ended yesterday, so for the first time, we're hearing reaction from local rabbis about the protests, and our Megan Kernan joins us live outside St. Louis University. Megan.
Mike, the latest protest is scheduled to happen in just 1 hour. Now, I spoke with rabbis who say they are optimistic that tonight's protest will be peaceful.
The time is now, maybe more so than ever, that we have to stand together as a Jewish community.
133. That's how many Israeli hostages are still being held captive in Gaza. Their photos displayed inside Congregation B'nai Emunah in Creve Coeur, which Rabbi Jeffrey Abraham says it serves as a daily reminder.
It's really important for us to stand up now and say what's going on is anti-Semitism, and we're not going to stand for it collectively as a community.
Now that Passover has ended, Rabbi Abraham and Rabbi Jordan Gerson at WashU Hillel are making their voices heard about the recent protests on WashU's campus.
What's happening on these campuses is it's not a peaceful protest. It's a violent protest.
What happened on Saturday was not a pro-Palestinian protest. It was an anti-Israel protest. It was a hate rally. It was very scary to hear these calls, these hate-filled calls for violence against my students, against the Jewish people around the world. It's been scary and it's been sad to see how quickly this level of anti-Semitism has taken hold on our campus.
Now, with tonight's planned protests at SLU, both rabbis are hoping for peace.
These groups are simply moving from one college campus to the next. I'm hopeful that the SLU administration takes a note from the WashU administration.
I really hope that it's a peaceful protest. I think that's absolutely acceptable. I really hope there's no calls for violence. I'm optimistic, but I have to be because the alternative is unbearable.
Both rabbis say one of their concerns with the WashU protest was the people who came onto the campus who were not a part of their school. They're hoping that SLU will be able to keep non-students off campus tonight. Live at SLU, Megan Kernan, 5 on your side.
And these protests are having a huge impact at universities across the country. Columbia University is now holding final exams remotely. Police have cleared the encampments and officers are staying on campus until mid-May. Other schools are canceling classes, going remote, are changing graduation plans. Protesters say they want schools to divest from companies that support Israel.
The responses that they gave do not meet the demands that we have. There is no accountability when we said, for example, to release a statement condemning the state of Israel. That was not done. Them calling for an end to violence, why can't we say where the violence is coming from?
And you can read more about this story right now on ksdk.com. And for a link, just text the word protest to 314-425-5355.
Well, our Weather First team is tracking a cluster of storms to the south, so let's check in now with meteorologist Jim Castillo. Jim.
Yeah, keeping our eyes on nothing severe, but it is a big cluster of a lot of lightning and also some very heavy downpours. Let's zoom in a little bit more here. Moving right into Reynolds County, and then there is Phelps County right there. Again, nothing severe, but it is bubbling up to the north, and temperatures down here were in the 80s throughout the day. So expect this to move into the southern sections of the area, and then the futurecast, we'll watch it possibly develop even around the metro and move northward. This is what some of the models are indicating, so we'll watch this area and that rain-cooled air from those storms south. As they move northward, they'll create more showers and storms as they push northward. All right, so temperatures right now in the 70s, upper 70s around Arnold. It finally cleared after a lot of clouds throughout the day, so areas to the south made it into the 80s, but the high so far in St. Louis, 78, the dew point way up there at 60-degree dew point. All right, so there's the 80s down south, 70s right around the metro. We'll time out more shower and storm chances coming up in Maine weather.
And you can get the latest Weather First forecast anytime on your phone. Just text the word weather to 314-425-5355.
Tomorrow, attorneys will give their closing argument in the Thomas Kenworthy murder trial. He is accused of killing St. Louis police officer Tamaris Bohannon in August of 2020.
5 on your side's Christine Byers has been in the courtroom since the beginning, and she's live downtown with testimony from the prosecution's star witness, a forensic psychologist. Christine.
Mike and Kelly, when it comes to mental illness, Thomas Kenworthy is faking it. That is what the prosecution's rebuttal witness told jurors today. And she was the last witness to take the stand right before this case goes to jurors tomorrow. And she was the exclamation point on the prosecution's case. Defense attorneys focused their case on proving Thomas Kenworthy meets the standard to be found not guilty of the murder of St. Louis officer Tamaris Bohannon by reason of mental defect. They presented 2 experts who concluded Kenworthy does meet the standard for a mental defect. Today, the prosecution put Dr. Rachel Springman on the stand. She listened to 30 hours of his jailhouse calls to loved ones, as well as reviewed criminal and medical records going back to his time in juvenile detention.
He sounds in touch with reality. He is, recalling what people are telling him. He seems excited about being in the news and rather callous about the victim.
Now, closing arguments are expected to begin first thing tomorrow morning, and each side will have about 30 minutes to present their closing arguments. Live outside the courthouse, Christine Byers, 5 on your side.
A fundraiser just wrapped up for a teenage employee who was beaten at a North St. Louis County McDonald's.
The 15-year-old girl was on the job when a customer punched and stomped on her in the parking lot. Justina Coronel attended the fundraiser at the McDonald's on Parker Road.
We're just trying to show love and give back to her.
Giving back to Aria Lynch to move forward.
She's a model employee. She takes pride in what she does.
The 15-year-old was the April Employee of the Month at this McDonald's in St. Louis County.
She shows the expectations that we're looking for.
Supervisor Thaddeus Henderson is happy with her work ethic.
She's bubbly. We love her.
A love they want to show her more than ever. Tuesday, there was a fundraiser to help her with medical costs.
Just the video that we saw, it was a lot to look at, especially with someone who's a sweetheart like Aria is.
On April 8th, police say 25-year-old Johnny Ricks was an upset customer. A video circulating shows a man who police say is Ricks grab her by her hair and then stomp on her head. As she got up, police say Ricks swung at her again, hitting her in the head. Ricks is charged with first-degree assault and property damage. Henderson has been working for McDonald's for 21 years, and he's seen incidents, but nothing like this.
Never this graphic.
Lynch needs a second surgery for her broken nose, and the Hazelwood East student is having head pains. Lynch's coworker supports her.
When I first seen what happened, it was like a rage moment because it was like, Aria is so sweet. That's like what I kept saying. I was like, Aria is so sweet. Like, she do not deserve it, at all.
Lynch's stepmom said her daughter was working to save money for her 16th birthday this month.
Her birthday coming up, and I'm gonna be there.
And this fundraiser shows they'll all be there for her.
I feel like it's something that she deserved for what happened to her, because I feel like even when that happened to her, she still was like, oh, I still want to come back and work.
Justina Cornell, 5 on your side.